That's what I think he does too. You want the paper next week?
Let's call the meeting to order at 6:03. Is the recording on? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It doesn't sound like the speaker.
It was rolled out here.
Okay. Okay, can you hear me better now? Yeah, that's better, okay. So we'll call roll.
Mrs. Frazier?
Here.
Mr. Markovitz? Here. Mr. Midley? Here. Mr. Sharma?
Here.
Mr. Spice? I think he's here. Oh, here he comes. I see him, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was just pulling in. How you doing?
I was out of town. I was in Florida. I have Southern Florida. I won't be here next month. I'll be out of country for the number.
And then we have nobody absent, so we'll go on to approval of the minutes. Does anybody have any comments? Okay. I'll second it.
Mr. Midley?
Yes.
Mrs. Frazier?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Wasn't here.
I'll say. Mr. Sharma?
Abstain.
Mr. Spice?
Is there anyone here tonight who does not have a case on the agenda? Then we can start with the first case, which is 9314 Helen Lane.
Hello?
Is this like an addition to?
So there's an existing deck, we're going to rebuild a new deck just so to make sure the footers are strong enough. I know this was looked at last week, or 2 weeks ago, there was some concern over the angle of the roof that was misdrawn, so we got it correctly drawn, to give you guys some better angles to look at it, because there was some concern, because with the windows there, the existing shed roof in the back of the house could not line, can't get the exact same.
So you're just doing the deck, not anything to the roof or anything? Or is that going to be
No,
covered?
The roof is what's in question, yeah, the deck's.
All right, so this roof.
This is the one that came in last, or 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. This is 2 weeks.
So this is now drawn to scale. So your roof says, what, I don't want to call it, but they're crossing, they're scissoring a bit.
Yep, there's 2 different pitches.
Right, and they don't meet at the same point, so there's a point where they cross.
Correct. Yeah, so there's obviously windows on the right-hand side. The existing breakfast room only comes out 10 feet, and the deck comes out 14 feet, the current deck. There's a stamped concrete patio underneath, so they don't really want to cut up a bunch of holes in the concrete to do a different elevation on the deck or a different size on the deck. If you were to maintain the same roof line, you're going to intersect with windows on the far right side of the house. If we And then you're obviously going to have a head clearance issue when you get to the front, because you're going to have 5 foot underneath the beam, so that
Right.
keep the same pitch out there. The visibility of it, being that it's a second-story walkout deck, there's really very, very little of any visibility, because you're not going to be able to see where they intersect, where the two pitches come down. Just from a 30-foot height, you have to go, 10 houses down, and you're only going to see about 5 feet of it. You're never going to see both sides of the pitch, at once, unless you're on a drone or something looking at the house.
Okay. But you'll have the eave height, the gutter height at the same height as
Yep.
the other.
Correct. So the gutter heights from the front to the back will all be on a line. Same thing as siding and the gable lines on both ends.
And you were here 2 meetings ago, I think.
My foreman was, yeah. I
Okay.
was in Florida.
Didn't we have a plan, layout for us to go down there?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, there was stuff going on, the original stuff. So. Are you just looking for a layout, floor plan of the deck and the roof? So that first submission, the roof line was off with the window height, just mark wrong.
So the floor plan is still the same?
Floor plan is the same, attached to the same as the existing deck that's on the house right now.
Okay.
The posts below it, I can't remember, you were gonna sleeve them?
They're all being sleeved with, white vinyl sleeve, beams are wrapped with AZAC, PVC trim. Same thing on the roof support posts.
And they're gonna be white, and the rails are gonna be vinyl too, like PVC?
The rails are, yeah, I believe the rails are white. Check. Yeah, white vinyl rails. With a black ballast strip.
I haven't seen one.
So this one's just gonna die into the other one. That was the issue before, right?
Yeah.
No, and you see that in the addition, they have 2 stories, 1 story butts into the other.
Sure.
I'll move to approve it as submitted now.
I'll second.
You guys got 2 of these?
Maybe need the whole.
Mr. Midley?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mrs. Markovitz?
Yes.
Mr. Spice?
Yes.
Mrs. Fraser?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure, either one's fine. Next case we have is at 8941 Wilcox Drive. It's Partners to Beer.
Hi. Good evening, everybody. Good. My name is Ivan So. Yes. And 8941 used to be Old Gammon Restaurant. So we have an intention. The owner of the Mr. Chen purchased the building. So we try to turn the franchise so become the burger to beer.
Okay.
Which is, we have a tenant in the Solon and with me for several years. So.
Yeah, we're familiar. There's one in Solon.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Is that one moving here? Or is
No,
it's a new location?
that's my tenants. They say they don't move. No,
Okay.
Stay there. We have one addition to order into.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been before.
Is this establishment already open or is it?
Oh, no.
Not yet.
No, not yet. We just, lucky enough, the building been abandoned for several years. And with some raccoons problem, that kind of stuff. So we finally get rid of the old, get rid of the old wet installation. So yeah, we just almost ready to go. Try to plan if everything well. I try to open next year springtime. Yes, hopefully everything smooth. Our employees in training, then try to open middle of the February or the beginning of the March.
Right.
That's our plan. Yes.
Did you open the sushi shop too?
Yes.
With Bob Evans?
Bob Evans, yes.
Oh, Sushi Yak.
Yes, Sushi Yen.
That's very good.
Thank you. And the same sign company going to do the sign for us this one.
Okay.
Last time I didn't bring you the sample.
Oh, goodness.
But yeah.
That's the sample.
That one.
Yeah, bring the samples next time.
Anybody want to look at it?
Wrong kind of samples. We want to try.
I will Very nice.
I noticed there's not a address on the usually we require the street address.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
There's a sign which is.
I forgot about that one. Yes.
We can just add it as a note.
What about the sign requirements?
Right, so we have, the monument sign is a face replacement.
Yes.
Is it illuminated is it internally
It is.
illuminated? Okay.
And that's two of them. One is like kind of like entrance, one is kind of like exit. Yeah.
All right, so we will add a note to include the numerals for the address, minimum 4 inches.
It's only a few months, and you guys remind me last time, I forgot again.
Okay. You just add it on. What is this when I see this whole black page?
Oh, that's just a logo to show you.
Okay, so that isn't a sign?
No,
that
it's
is-
not.
Okay.
It's not.
Then we have the sign that goes on the face of the building. We have it dimensioned.
Yes.
It looks nice on the rendering. The face of the building behind it, what is that material?
It's a wood. It's concrete siding.
It's hard to find.
It's a hardy plank? Okay. All right, so in the rendering, it looks like it's a little bit worn out, but it'll be painted nicely. It'll look good when you put the sign up.
Yes.
Okay.
After we spend so much money for the sign, we
I know,
pay the
what's-
big sign.
You will paint the- yeah, you
Before I
paint
put
the
the
color.
sign back, yes. And that's the spot, the past few years, the animal get into it,
Right. Okay.
We're looking at just the two signs.
That's just, yeah, there's just.
Originally, they have three signs, which is.
Oh, there's a second side of the building that has a sign. They look
Yes.
similar.
Yeah.
One you can see is over the door, and the other one is on the side canopy.
Which is will be the take-out,
Right.
entrance.
Same sign and letter sizes.
I think they look
No,
nice.
these are bigger.
Thank you.
The front is smaller, the sidings are bigger.
There's only one side.
Yeah, that's what,
Okay.
compared to the front one, the sidings are size-wise are bigger.
The side one
Yeah, it's 209 inches to 225. height is about 10 inches, 9.5 inches taller.
Huh.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
By the way, all the location of the sign, all existing sign for the payment.
That's what the name is. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'll make a motion to approve with the noted, those
The numbers.
numeral letters, 4 inches minimum.
I'll second it.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Mrs. Fraser?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.
Mr. Midley?
Yes.
Mr. Spice?
Yes.
Thank you very much. I will try very hard, try to remember next time I come here again, we'll clean the good sample.
And beer.
Not another restaurant.
Yeah, thank you.
Are we really allowed to clean the beer here? Yeah.
We can go to my house. Go down the road. What size is there?
Down here.
All of them.
Never need to read them. They always- they always get them.
Yeah, that's what I guess you would.
But it's got grading on it. No, it doesn't take something like that. That's like-
Okay. All right, our next case is at 9667 Shepherd Road. This is the garage.
Meeting room?
Yeah, pictures, just curious. You got a couple, right?
There should be some, a couple renders.
I see 2 pictures here.
Basically, it's just matching the existing, everything, siding, roofing, pitch, height, treatment, everything's matched. The only thing we have is the siding we can't get, we get something that's pretty close to what's different in the house, but we're gonna re-side the existing garage so it all matches that, but the house is so far away, you can see the little shape difference between the colors.
So you- were you making it like deeper?
No, it's a separate.
It's a separate, it's an addition to it, yeah. It's gonna be about right where that flat trailer is, right? No, there's like a little shed roof that's going on it, but the garage is like 90-degree angle from what's there. I have a runoff or storm water that's next to it that goes underneath 480, so there's a 4-foot drop off there. So I can't put anything there, so I gotta go next to it, so that's why it's going 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
So,
You keep the existing garage, right?
yeah.
Are you able to make it in alignment with your house then? this
No.
one? No?
Between utilities, the sandstone, the culvert, right of ways, and
I just mean the tilting of, it's really close, it looks to being perpendicular or parallel.
it's actually slightly moved than what's on here from what we could have because we needed, instead of 5 foot, they wanted 10 foot back from the right of way. So it's actually a little bit more of an angle, so it's kind of pretty close to what the house is now
Okay.
than what's on here, so. if you know Shepherd, everything's sandstone up there, and we have huge boulders and everything on there. They don't work around it.
Yeah.
Not any fun.
Yeah, right.
And you're building on the existing concrete pad?
Yes, actually, that's all coming out. It gets
So you'll
pitched
put
right.
footers down?
No, this is, floating slab. And if you look on, there's engineer drawings that are stamped, because we had to match the existing building, which is on a floating slab. So I can't build a fixture that's fixed in the ground on footers to a building that floats, like tear itself apart, so.
Is the old one right on sandstone now, or?
No, that's on a floating slab, but it's on, it's probably about 2.5 to 3 foot
I know
above.
that's all sandstone.
Yeah, I mean, my whole basement was a pain to put in, and then sewer and water lines were up, because I designed and built that house 28 years ago.
How old is your house now?
It's 21 years old.
You didn't have to use dynamite, huh?
No, luckily, some of it I got away with. We actually built it above grade quite a bit, and then a company down the street was putting a commercial parking lot in. So Paladino's borrow yard was closed, so they had nowhere, so they bought all this dirt and we filled the whole yard up to
Yeah.
get the swales and everything. The basement was 5.5 feet above grade. So,
I haven't heard that in a while.
it's wide over there.
Yeah, that's good.
The only thing I'm trying to understand is the roof, that roof that you're building between them.
It's just like a shed roof.
You
It's just,
equal distortion.
no, it's actually a lean-to. It's just,
Right, don't say like this one is gabled, and then this one is gabled.
I'm not sure.
And so then we've got the two gutter heights, and what, how are you doing this roof between?
This is just a shed roof that's attached to the building and goes down. So this will just be a gutter on this end and just come through the storm. This will have a gutter that runs on both sides here. That's just a lean-to. There's no cable to it. And it's 10 foot off the building, and the building is 12 foot. So it sits lower than the roof. So it's like you see in a mobile home park where they put a little lean-to off the mobile home, the parking car up there. It's the same thing.
It says it's sloping this direction. The long way?
No, that's great. That's
That's a
concrete.
grade.
Yeah, that's a concrete
Okay.
slope. And this all slopes 10 feet here, 8 feet here. So it slopes down off the roof, so it sheds. Shed roof. A little bigger, if I have a better picture of this. This one's getting my car. I need to look at this.
Okay, and the existing garage is behind here, the same gutter height going across.
Yeah, everything else is gonna be at 90 degrees, so
Right.
this lean is this lean down. So when you see it's 10 foot, this is what's on the existing garage here, and this is sloping away to the drop off over here.
Okay. Do you see this from the freeway from that side?
No, there's woods that are still behind mine, and trees, everything that's there. They have probably a good 40 feet setback from the freeway to the fence line, that's all woods.
Okay.
And then I have trees that are still there too, that are blocking. And then we are putting trees on both sides, that's just for architectural, for noise and everything else. They're coming down, they're putting the noise barrier walls down that far too, and they're gonna be red, it's gonna look like an eyesore. So.
I'll second the motion.
Did someone make a motion? You gotta have a motion made. I started the big.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Jennifer came up with a question for you.
Sorry.
Do you have the motion to approve this?
Thank you.
Mr. Midley?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Spice? Mrs. Frazier?
What's up, everybody?
How many lots you guys got left?
After this one, 2.
2?
2 more. Yeah.
You guys get into that other rural development yet?
No, we're waiting till next year. We're having a hard time getting the, well, the one in Spruce Hill, the underground contractors, for utilities and stuff like that. This past fall, they were just so busy and materials were scarce and no one would give us a bid on it and, stick to it. So
Yeah.
I'll break ground on that one
Yeah.
in the spring. So,
There's a couple of, there's one going up on, it looks like it will be, off of Valley View, maybe 2 of them.
developments.
I don't know, whether there's that lot up, that old rural barn, corner lot.
Yes, that's ours too. Yeah, that'll be 14 single-family homes there.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was,
This same product here.
yeah, right, so you don't got utilities there yet?
No,
I didn't close, right?
we have the same problem
They
there.
cleared it out pretty good though.
Yeah, it's cleared out, the trees are down, and,
That was for sale for a long time.
yeah,
that property.
yeah. I guess that guy was pretty eccentric, would be one way to put it.
Yeah, right.
So,
Yeah, he was nestled in that corner for a long time.
yeah, there was a lot of stuff left behind in the barn. There was some weird things in there.
Yeah. Not surprised.
And I think the house is down. Yeah, the house came down last year. We brought the house, took the house down and fell the trees down this past before. We thought we'd be started on it by now, we really did, but
Yeah,
just the way things are.
yeah.
There's this whole COVID thing going on.
And still, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard about that at all.
Yeah, drifting away a little bit.
Yeah.
I've been really busy, but I get to design and build things that I like, so.
Right. Well, we've stayed pretty busy, just been having a hard time securing underground, utility contractors.
Yeah, right.
We have a big project that Chris has mostly been managing down at Richfield, and that's
Oh, yeah?
occupied quite a bit of
Off
his time.
of 303.
It's actually off of Wheatley Road,
Yeah, I used to come through there.
Pond Trail.
I used to do work with Prestige and some of the houses off of, it wasn't quite 21, but I used to come to Wheaton Road and then scoot over and on and that little pocket they got.
Yeah.
Prestige is probably just the end.
Really?
I think they're just gonna wrap up what they have.
That's interesting, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, we know what, and then I'm in almost all their homes, but really, one after another. And
What do you do?
I do mostly design and trim,
Okay.
mostly redesigning areas now.
Nice.
But I mean, I'll do more things.
I was an interior finish carpenter for
Yeah.
about 10 years before I started doing
I've
that.
got about 40-some years.
Yeah, nice.
We have a good crew too, if you want to. We're all over,
Mhm.
pretty much that list, if I want,
Good.
Yeah, I'll stop by and see Chris one day, I keep saying I will, but,
Yeah, you should.
I thought about doing something over in that area.
And I put that a lot of value.
Yeah, just that, it just depends.
That property across the street was for sale for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably sold it though.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Hard to say.
So everything looks good. The only thing I was looking at is if we were to add 2 windows on the left side, maybe in the bedrooms. Closets. Otherwise,
Yeah.
like left elevation only has that one.
And then if you could fit it in, I think it would be good.
I'm thinking about furniture placement in the room.
Well, we've done transoms before.
You have transoms in the owner's suite.
Let me pull up the window order real quick and see. Sometimes they add some things and then don't.
Yeah, there's that 118, it's a, I don't know, if it's a 3018 maybe? It's hard to read at this scale. But yeah, there's one small window in the bathroom and I was just.
Yeah, it's probably a 30, or a 2436.
No, it's a
Hold on.
smaller.
We don't always order what's on the plan to see
Oh.
this stuff.
But it is 30.
It says 3018.
3018.
Yeah. That's the only window on that whole elevation. In the basement windows, yeah.
Yeah, the owners, so you have like no windows, except the back kind of view.
Yeah. Otherwise, everything else looks good. That's the only thing I was looking at that left elevation. I'd recommend one at least bedroom 3 towards the front of the house. So I think it's even extra here. I'd throw out there to say they add a window in bedroom 3, their option where along the wall they want to put it. If they want to put it in front of the closet, that's probably not impacting furniture, but they could put it up here in the front corner too. And then recommend one in room 2.
You okay with that?
I don't know which ones are for the rooms exactly, but I know that whole wall has that one tiny window.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's your motion then?
Could we do transoms up high, like we did on the new model?
You'd have a lot of transients.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Another option.
And then it doesn't impact furniture.
Is that a transom in both rooms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 transoms?
Yeah, option to make them full-size windows too, to match the,
Okay.
the scale of the front window.
Mm-hmm.
To be half the width, you know.
Yeah, that's a nice option. Being in a living space, it seems transients outside.
Yeah, it gives you one light, but it also helps you go around. That's what they got on the other side of the master.
Yeah, right,
So it's in.
yeah.
The last, the house, the new model, we did 60 by, I think it's 60 by 12 or 60 by 16 transoms up high above the beds.
Oh, that's different. That's fine too.
It lets plenty of light in and kind of gives you that look.
Yeah.
You'd be all right with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like that one wall needs, the wall needs something, at least in bedroom, the front one.
So you just wanted it in one then?
I would recommend it in both, but I think just the one toward the front of the house, bedroom 3, would at least help it from the street side.
Okay.
Put a motion in, Jen?
Is that acceptable for my motion? To approve as noted, the note being the addition of at least one window on the left side as discussed. Okay.
Second it?
Who seconded it, Joe?
I did.
Mrs. Frazier?
Yeah, here, and then option to put one on here too, at least getting one to the front of the house. You'd like it in both, yeah. Oh, my vote, sorry,
Yeah.
yes. I didn't didn't know the fence was.
Oh, that's okay. Mr. Ridley?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes. That's a nice option.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Mr. Spice?
Yes. Good to go?
Yeah. Are you in that area this week?
What's that?
You're in that area all the time?
Not all, I took over all the interior stuff, and the front down there quite a bit, but, and we're kind of, only have one house under construction, on bridges right now, so, got a man away.
Some do this, get a project or something.
I've got a white GMC, my model's on the corner, it's a white farmhouse, one.
Okay, yeah,
You
yeah.
see my truck there, at the top there.
That's your model,
Yeah.
with the black one?
Yeah. Like it or not.
No, you know, it's just, black's gonna go out, that's gonna be hard. It's just, it's not, you know, it's not for me, I get it.
Yeah.
I have people doing all their rails in black now, and it's like, I'd rather see you go to dark Kona type color.
Yeah,
Than
same.
you go to black.
Wait. Is this what we're saying? No, you said it. Alright, so-
When do you guys start to get construction on this?
Year before the end of the year, so we're gonna start digging here in the next few weeks, and then probably start framing the first week of January, the plan right now, but windows are 14 to 16 weeks out.
Yeah. I didn't know Chris was out from, Hartsville area.
Yes,
He knows of the Weaver brothers.
so Chris's brother lives in Hartsville.
Yeah.
Chris, he grew up here, his family's everything there from there.
Yeah.
And he went to school down in like Baker High School.
Yeah. Yeah. I learned from a Mennonite guy out there, Jonas Troyer,
Yeah,
getting out there in age.
lots of Troyers out there.
Yeah, he was good. I mean, he did that work at the kitchen. He did ground work in that area.
The other state there, our cabinets, we go through Valley Kitchen, custom cabinets. And they just built a new state-of-the-art shop.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to get back out that way.
That's nice out there.
Yeah. I mean, I dealt with Hartsville for years, before you even go in there.
Yeah.
I did a lot of specialty work with Prestige, Harry, I don't know if you know, Rich Landis.
Yeah, I find that.
He's a VP there, but he's actually running all the jobs, but they're only building like $1 million homes now.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
John Russell, I know.
Doesn't take much to get $1 million house.
I know, $1 million house is
But
like.
yeah, it's like, and they actually built one in here for the first time since I've been on the board, almost 30 years, I swear.
What?
The,
The one on Sunshine? It was over Prestige.
Oh, yeah, what they That's the first time he was in, they even built it.
Oh, yeah. Those are nice places.
Yeah, but you know, for a long time, they were real strict about what they wanted, and they did things that were just like, held them back until they started doing it, they had no choice.
I don't know what you see right now.
Yeah, they had no choice, right?
The Lions of the world.
Yeah, it's not the same build though, that's for sure.
All right, everybody have a good night. If I would have brought beer, I wouldn't have told anybody.
Great night.
As long as you can open up for everybody.
Big house, 50% square feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if they're counting the bottom as living space.
Yeah.
Ryan does that now, well, they'll build like a 2,200 square foot home, and then they're counting the basement, because they're finishing it like a third level now.
And if they're finishing it, but
Yeah. Yeah, so it's basically just a basement that's.
what happens if it's taxation?
They count it as.
If it's taxable space?
If it's livable, yeah.
But don't you have to be able to walk on basement?
Walk out basement to be able to.
No, you have to have a means of egress. You just have to have a means of egress,
Yeah,
like a egress window.
yeah, right,
So if there is no egress window, then
It's not livable.
yeah.
don't put
Yeah,
it
so
there.
it doesn't look, it's gonna look half the size you think it is. It'll be 2,500 square foot.
Well, people do it all the time. Yeah.
Basement, basically.
We have people put egress
No,
window.
no,
You know, basement without permit. If there's a bedroom.
I would buy a house.
Somewhere it's living picture.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference.
I've seen people get to the point where they dig them out. It's nice that you have a nice flat front yard and then take it down.
Yeah.
And that works on location, pretty hard. I can build these, like, do a lot of finished basement, and they'll finish it out with a kitchen and everything. Then we'll have another walkway going down there in case the parents get older. Yeah, that helps everything.
It's like basically like having a whole in-law
It's like an apartment, yeah.
to build their house.